In the dense forests of France, massive, ferocious wild boars blend seamlessly into the rugged terrain, turning every hunt into a true test of skill and patience. With their numbers growing uncontrollably, these beasts have become a major threat, prompting local authorities to offer a hefty reward for anyone brave enough to confront them. We arrived, determined to face these monsters hidden deep in the forest, where every step we took was a gamble. Before the sun rises, we make our way into the forest, following the faint tracks left behind in the soil. These scars in the earth may be signs of the wild boar's presence, but they could also be traps, demanding careful judgment. After just a few minutes, all of our senses heighten, and there it is, its brown hide emerging from the underbrush. A perfectly timed shot is fired after mere seconds of aiming, catching the beast completely off guard. The fallen boar serves as a testament to our precision and the sharp skill of reading the tracks of a wild boar. We continue to follow the faint traces on the ground. Though they don't immediately signal a successful boar sighting, our experience tells us to keep pushing forward. Along the way, Jay proves invaluable, reading the faintest smells and sounds to pinpoint the target. Thanks to his skills, the heavy-hitting boars that appear are brought under control swiftly. His patience and keen detection earned him the reward of a successful hunt. After the loud noise, it seems we've spooked the animals. The boars, quick to react, are now on high alert and begin to flee in panic. Sensing the shift, we lock our eyes on likely escape routes. The moment has come. Each shot is meticulously aimed and fired, blocking any escape attempts the boars might make. Though not the largest, this victory still marks a significant win for the team. The forest grows quieter. The wild boars have hidden themselves well, making the task of reading tracks or observing movement almost futile. Just as we consider changing tactics, the familiar sound of barking fills the air. Our loyal hunting dogs are on the scent. We follow the noise, heading straight for the target. Though the boar is far, I decide to take a shot. Years of training at long ranges allow me to land the hit. The boar has nowhere to run after that blast. Meanwhile, in another part of the forest, Nick faces off with his own quarry. When the tracking device beeps, signaling the boar's location, every step becomes a sprint. No matter how fast it runs, the boar can't escape the relentless gunfire. The massive beast, once a shadow in the forest, is now brought to its knees by the combined efforts of man and dog. The hunt never stops. The team moves with purpose, splitting up to approach new targets. With calm precision and sophisticated tactics, we quickly begin to isolate the remaining boars that are being pursued by our dogs. A battle of wits and strength unfolds as the wild boars try to dodge our shots at range. But with our strategy, these shadows in the forest are once again cornered and subdued. Victory belongs to the hunters, thanks to their resolve and determination to protect the village. The hunt for wild boars is not just a test of strength and skill, it's about protecting the crops and livelihoods of the local people. When the hunt ends in victory, the true reward isn't just the trophy, it's the peace of mind knowing that the harvest has been safeguarded. That is the real value of the hunt, a bond between man, nature, and the responsibility to the community. Terrifying news shook the village. A local had been mauled by the alpha wild boar. Panic spread fast. Recognizing the sheer brutality and danger of this beast, we, a seasoned hunting team, were assembled without delay. With unwavering determination, we set out to track and eliminate this ferocious threat. This hunt wasn't just about survival, it was a mission. A burning desire to end the menace once and for all surged through every step we took into the forest. Silently, we moved deeper into the heart of the jungle, each footstep cushioned by layers of rotting leaves. Fresh tracks confirmed its path. Our hunting dogs were released. Minutes later, the forest erupted in chaos, barking, snapping branches, and the fierce roar of our quarry. The dogs had made contact. I flanked ahead, predicting the boar's escape route. No hesitation. I raised my rifle and squeezed the trigger. The shot rang out, clean, precise. The beast collapsed where it stood. First blood was drawn, but the hunt was far from over. Before we could catch our breath, a second wave of barks pierced the forest. Sharp, urgent. Another target. I spotted movement through a narrow gap between trees. No time for second chances. I fired. Another clean takedown. Swift, decisive. Our strategy was working. The coordination, the willpower, the focus. It was all coming together. James, sharp-eared and steady, picked up faint rustling. Another large boar trying to sneak through a hidden trail. He moved like a shadow, predicting its path, positioning himself in a narrow clearing between two massive trunks. Rifle ready, breath steady, he waited. The boar burst out from the thicket, and James pulled the trigger without mercy. One more threat neutralized. Every takedown was a step closer to reclaiming our forest. Suddenly, the dogs' barking changed. Fierce, relentless. They had locked in. Right then, a massive wild boar charged from the undergrowth, snarling, fast as lightning. But I was ready. My aim steady, my resolve sharper than ever. One pull of the trigger, and the beast dropped instantly. No struggle, no escape. Another clean kill in a hunt that demanded perfection. Jack's signal came in. A target still lurked nearby. We pushed deeper into the dense forest, tracking the fading barks of our hounds. Then it happened. A panicked boar broke cover, fleeing the earlier skirmish. I intercepted its path and fired before it could vanish. Another down. The pressure was unrelenting, but so was our resolve. We pressed on. Suddenly, from a bush just yards ahead, another giant burst out, fast and furious. No time to think. Instinct took over. The shot rang out, and the beast collapsed mid-charge. It was moments like these that proved the hunt wasn't just physical, it was mental. Precision, reflex, dominance. The threat was falling, piece by piece. In a sparse part of the forest, our hounds, exhausted but relentless, kept the creature in check. Hearing the chaos, I arrived at the scene. No time to hesitate. I took the shot. Blinded, clean. The beast's resistance ended in an instant. My father invested the whole season planting sugarcane on a patch of land at the forest's edge. But after just a few nights, a herd of wild boars stormed in, destroying our hard work and threatening the family's livelihood. Fueled by determination, we couldn't just sit back and watch. At dawn the next day, we set out. Would this quest for justice succeed? Join us and find out. The plan was drawn up the night before. We'd form a wide perimeter, using hunting dogs to drive the boars toward our ambush points. We were geared up with terrain grip boots, walkie-talkies to stay connected, and rifles carefully loaded. Nearby, the pickup truck and our pack of hunting dogs were eager to jump into action. Before sunrise, the forest stirred awake with the sharp barks of our dogs. Every step was cautious, every sound analyzed. This hunt wasn't just about pulling the trigger. It was an art of patience and instinct. Then, the first prize appeared. A wild boar, startled out of hiding, charged into the open space right in front of us. I leveled my rifle, heart steady, breath held tight, and squeezed the trigger. Boom! The boar spun and crashed onto the dry grass. We moved up to the hilltop, a vantage point to watch all movement and predict the boar's path. As we arrived, the dog's urgent barking told us they'd driven another into the trap. Just as I raised my rifle, a teammate was faster. His shot dropped the boar instantly. Every successful shot, no matter who fired it, was a victory for the whole team. Emboldened, we spread out across surrounding hills, tightening the tactical circle. Experience spoke now, reading the wind, tracking faint signs, waiting patiently. My hunter's gut whispered, "Prey nearby, very close." The wild boar burst out. Unlucky for it, my bullet was waiting, pinning it down the moment it showed itself. By noon, the sun beat down fiercely. I moved to a gentle slope with open views to spot movement easily. Minutes later, a teammate radioed. A herd was being pushed downhill. My goal wasn't to shoot as many as possible, but to break their formation. The leader was always the prime target. I took careful aim and squeezed the trigger. The leader went down hard, sending the rest into chaotic flight. Right after, I radioed the escape routes of the others. Rapid gunfire from Kevin's position knocked down a few more. As evening fell, fatigue crept in, but focus never wavered. As we moved down the hill to load our haul, sudden frantic barks echoed nearby. Still some stragglers hiding? The wild boar burst from thick brush. My shot rang out, dropping it clean with a precise finishing bullet. That shot rippled through the quiet forest like a stone skipping across a lake, stirring the hidden prey. As another boar appeared, I fired the day's last bullet, driving it down and sealing an intense day of hunting. As harvest season approached, fear began to spread across the village. A monstrous wild boar had been ravaging fields, destroying not only crops, but also entire livelihoods. This wasn't just a hungry animal, it was a force of chaos. In the face of this threat, we were called in to take action. This was my first time joining a team of professional hunters on such a dangerous mission. Could I stand my ground, or would I be the first to fall? Let's find out. By 5 a.m., we were already on the hunting truck headed straight toward the Moravia fields. Everyone was fired up, heading into position, according to the plan. With years of experience, the hunters quickly identified the patterns and paths of the boars. While I was still scanning the area, Jay spotted the target. A quick adjustment, and the first shot rang out. A 200-kilo beast had no time to retreat. It went down instantly from a precise burst of fire. It all happened fast, but it lit a fire of determination in all of us for the journey ahead. I continued tracking my targets, and then luck hit. A boar appeared in the open. I followed the steps just as I'd practiced. Boom! A shot more accurate than I expected. Before I could lower my weapon, another figure emerged. I held steady, confident, and took the next shots with calm precision. Victory was ours. Even as a rookie, I felt proud to have pulled my weight and completed the mission flawlessly. Meanwhile, Jay caught sight of a herd grazing at the field's edge. No stranger to the hunt, he acted fast, dropping one after another with near-perfect accuracy. What could have turned into a wave of destruction was stopped before it even began. Without hesitation, I moved steadily along the eastern edge of the field. Suddenly, a herd of wild boars appeared clustered right in front of me. I adjusted the scope, pulled the trigger, missed. The entire herd panicked and bolted into the pine forest nearby. I immediately radioed Jay and the others. The response was quick, fluid, professional, like muscle memory. In seconds, a new formation was in place. We pushed on. No one wanted to let this chance slip. Jay led the charge, navigating the rough terrain with confidence, following every faint sign left behind. When the target appeared again, his finger tightened on the trigger. One clean final shot. The boar dropped. We had stopped it from escaping and saved another part of this land from destruction. Jay wasn't finished. He moved deeper into the forest, knowing the thick terrain made the perfect hiding spot for stragglers. And he was right. With sharp instincts and years of experience, he flushed them out. Every shot found its mark. Boar after boar went down. The battlefield shifted entirely in our favor once more, Jay commanding like a seasoned general, every move precise and unstoppable. After that win, Jay led us forward, not a single moment wasted, every sense on high alert. And it paid off one by one. Targets fell under my sights. Clean shots, no hesitation, no escape. The final call came through, mission complete. But more than just a victory, it was relief. For the villagers, the nightmare had ended. Their land and their peace was safe again.
The Australian sky hasn't fully broken into dawn yet. Sunlight trickles faintly through scorched treetops, but the ground already tells the story. Massive hoof prints pressed deep into the dirt, long streaks of mud torn apart by claws. That's the silent declaration of war from the feral boars, fierce, cunning, and a constant threat to our land and way of life. There's no waiting. Finn and his veteran hunting crew are already on the move. The mission begins. Every step could be our last. The battle to defend this land's peace has officially started. The wind whispers through the dense canopy. The earth trembles under the synchronized steps of the hunting team. Finn leads the charge, his hands locked around the rifle like it's part of his body. His eyes miss nothing. Then, a dark shadow flickers, half hidden among thick trunks. The distance is just right. The first shot cracks the air clean, sharp, lethal. Instantly, chaos erupts. The herd surges like a wave crashing ashore. But Finn's team stays calm, every man in position, every barrel trained. The boars have nowhere to run. Instead of pulling back as most would, Finn suddenly swings the team westward. His instincts are rarely wrong. Moments later, there they are. A burst of gunfire forms a wall of lead, stopping the beasts dead in their tracks before they can cross the boundary. It's a flawless ambush. Every calculation pays off. That day, the team bagged several of the most destructive feral hogs in the area. While sweeping the forest's outer edge, Finn notices old footprints, familiar yet suspicious. A shadow moves beneath the leaves. Without hesitation, Finn pulls the trigger. The bullet whistles. One drops instantly. The rest scatter in panic, breaking away from the team's intended trap line. A setback, but a valuable lesson. In these wild woods, patience and instinct are as deadly as bullets. The team pushes deeper into what looks like a large den site. And Finn's gut was right, a full herd. He doesn't rush. His eyes scan every escape route. Then, suddenly, the forest explodes with motion. The boars charge. Gunfire erupts. The terrain turns the battle into chaos. Some targets go down, others tear through the perimeter. The fight lasts less than a minute, but no one falters. This is not about giving up. It's about standing guard over the fields and people who depend on them. A change in tactics, ATVs roar to life. Out in a clearing, a massive boar, twice the normal size, hides under the brush. It doesn't flee. It doesn't fear. Finn says nothing. He squeezes the trigger. That single shot carries every ounce of fury toward these destructive beasts. In that instant, the land is spared from ruin by inches. Finn signals for a full sweep. No one leaves until the last thread is gone. Sweat runs down faces, guns still hot, but not a word of complaint. They all understand. This isn't about wiping out the wild. It's about restoring balance between man and nature, so life here can go on in peace. As we pull back, I glance over my shoulder at the quiet forest, fierce, yet calm again. It's just witness to battle. Not one of destruction, but of protection. A fight for the peace of this land and for the people who call a home.
In this rural land, the midnight barking of dogs signals the presence of wild boars, the silent destroyers of crops, and a looming threat to our way of life. Immediately, the hunting team gears up, heading out under the cover of darkness, armed with experience, weapons, and courage to confront the ferocious beasts. This hunt is not just a clash with wild animals, it's a mission to protect peace for the whole community. Follow them and you'll see what true grit means deep inside the forest. As the first light breaks, Jay's team stands ready at the forest edge, prepared to enter a silent battle. Equipped with specialized weapons and modern gear, we push deep into the wilderness. Even the faintest trace is quickly detected and analyzed by these skilled hunters. When the moment strikes, gunfire shatters the calm. Every shot decisive, locking down targets instantly. A fitting tribute to those who silently guard the wild, preserving peace between man and nature. Deeper in, before I even react, the hunters catch the faint rustling and the distinct scent carried by the wind. The wild boars appear. Shots ring out in reflex, but most of the herd flees. The chase begins immediately. Soon, sharpshooters spot their targets again. A burst of precise fire ends the confrontation. One by one, the creatures fall into a heavy silence. This is not just a victory, it's a strong warning to the danger stalking this land. It seems Jay's team has uncovered a new path. They move silently through the dense trees, careful and resolute. Suddenly, they stop. No words, just a shared sense of tension. A shadow darts past like a gust of wind. Without hesitation, a bullet flies, powerful and true. In this wild forest, hesitation means death. Only vigilance and decisiveness separate hunter from hunted. The hunt grows tougher. With keen ears, the wild boars have learned to recognize gunshots. They huddle together, wary and moving as a pack. Nick signals to tighten the formation, closing the circle. Every step, every command is chillingly precise, as if he foresees the entire hunt. In a moment, the assault locks down the herd. No chance to escape. Yet, the trump card remains hidden. The hunters press on, driven by steadfast will and unyielding determination. Then, suddenly, the figure appears. Shots ring out, each target neutralized cleanly and swiftly. A battle formation forged by seasoned hands, every link perfectly synced, pushing danger far behind. As darkness falls, I thought the hunt was over. Time for rest. But the forest shadows had other plans. Nick's team strikes again, this time with perfect accuracy, ending all resistance. Land is finally safe. We breathe a sigh of relief, ready to rest before the next battle.